Jackson State completely dominates at SWAC Media Days on all the preseason SWAC awards. Let's talk about it and what it means going into the 2025 season as we are that much closer to the start of the football season, and I cannot wait. Oh, man, this is going to be another great year. Stay tuned as we talk about it after the bumper. Stay tuned. What is going on, everybody? What is going on, everybody? My name is JeffLightsyJr. This is the Victor Formation Sports Show right here on JeffLightsYr, YouTube, Facebook, wherever you get content. Do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button, like, share, subscribe, and follow me on Twitter/X at JLightsy7 as Jackson State completely dominates all the preseason SWAC awards. Like the SWAC Media Day was yesterday. We're going to do some reactions later in the day over what took place at SWAC Media Day because it was a lot. Like it was a lot said by a lot of different coaches, a lot of different players. We're going to react to what TC Taylor said in another video. All of this is so much to digest and dissect from SWAC Media Day that took place this week. But one thing that was evident is that Jackson State came away as the big winners because a lot of people are expecting the Tigers essentially to repeat. Like they expect them to not only repeat as the SWAC champions, but also be the favorite to win the Celebration Bowl again. Let's talk about some of the things that they were able to dominate. Let me go ahead and share my screen and take a look at, this is not what I wanted to show. This is their schedule for this upcoming season. But this is what I wanted to show as your first team all SWAC selections from JSU. You've got Marvin Landy at tight end, Beza at kicker, Travis Terrell at running back, which it's going to be a big year for him. Jeremiah Williams on the defensive line, DeAndre Towns Blue on the offensive line, Nate Rembert at wide receiver, transfer from Mississippi Valley State, who almost left that they were able to keep. We're going to talk about how they were able to keep him and others because they need a special shout out on their own. Mr. Fortillion at wide receiver, and of course, Jacobian Morgan at QB. And then on the second team, you've got Shamar Hawkins, who could have been first team, I felt like. Second team all SWAC, you got Shamar Hawkins, Ashton Taylor at linebacker, Reed Pulliman at linebacker, and Quavion Davis on the offensive line, who I also thought could have been first team. But that's not where the domination stopped for JSU. I want to go ahead and show you to an email that I got 2 days before it was actually released, but about the predicted order of finish in both the SWAC East and the SWAC West and who people think will be the winners. And at the top of the SWAC East, it was none other than JSU with 16 first place votes, 3 of them going to FAMU. So 126 total points, meaning essentially, Southern got the most total points in the West. But the 126 total points over Southern's 120 essentially tells me that the entire conference believes Jackson State's going to win the conference again. The entire conference, when you have that many first team all SWAC selections, that many second team all SWAC selections, and this overwhelming finish over both, not just second place in the SWAC East, but even over first place in the SWAC West, lets me know that everyone believes Jackson State will have another dominant season. And Coach TC Taylor, Jackson State, KC 1400 Club Collective, all of these guys and gals came together, and this is why they're predicted to be one of the best. You bring back, and I can tell you this just from working in sports for so long, a lot of preseason rankings are based on heavily. This is at any level, FCS, FBS, Power 4, Group of 5, whatever. This is how they base a lot of their rankings. They base it on how they perceive your coach and how they perceive your quarterback. And you got to think about this. TC Taylor's a national champion head coach, and he's bringing back his national champion quarterback. That's why Jackson State's the favorite. Everybody else is having some sort of, and there's turnover at Jackson, right? Like everybody didn't come back. You had guys move on to the NFL, guys in the transfer portal, et cetera, et cetera. But then they replaced them with like all SWAC players, like Nate Rembert. And then, of course, like I said, your preseason ranking is based heavily on who you have at coach and who you have at quarterback, and you're bringing back the reigning defending national champions at both positions. And the last time we saw this, it was at North Carolina Central, They brought back, obviously, their head coach and Davius Richards at quarterback, and they had another great season. Now, they didn't end up back in the Celebration Bowl. They lost that game to Howard, and in the weird MEAC, when you only play 5 conference games, if you lose one game, it could literally derail your entire season, unlike the SWAC, where you have an adequate amount of teams on both the East and the West. It kind of derailed their season, and they could have won the Celebration Bowl back-to-back, right? Like, that was the year FAMU won it. But at the same time, JSU's not going to have those problems, and you're bringing back TC Taylor, who has one of the best recruiting classes each and every single year in the FCS. And that's due, one, not only because he's a great coach, but that's due in a large part because they have such a great collective that allows them to, even when they lose players to the NFL, like a Robert McDaniel, or to the transfer portal, to Power 5, Power 4, whoever, their collective, along with the reputation and the facilities and the jerseys and the Under Armour deal, all of these things that work in their favor, and the fact that they can seat 40, 50, 60,000 at a football game in the fall, all work in their favor to restock the cupboard, to go out and get a freshman like Travis Terrell, and then retain said freshman like Travis Terrell, to go out and get a Nate Rembrandt, and then to retain a Nate Rembrandt after D1, FBS conference opponents, FBS opponents, FBS schools programs try to come get them. Like, that is why having all of your things in, working together and not opposed to each other works. I mean, you're never, and I'm going to have a separate video about this, but Jackson State, every single game they're going to have is going to be available to the public, whether it's on ESPN Plus. They've got 4 games on HBCU Go. And then now with the new SWAC TV, which I got to do a whole different video about, but the SWAC TV, you will be able to see every single Jackson State game. That also works in their favor. So you got your national champion head coach. Check. You have your collective. That's the best one in FCS. Damn, just HBCU. The KC 1400 Club collective is turning out to be one of the best collectives in all of FCS football. I mean, they have a whiskey. Jeremiah Williams got a car from a dealership in Jackson. Like, that's big time. Like, that's what the big boys do. They get their players cars, and they start alcohol brands. I did a whole breakdown on that. And so you have that. So you have your collective. You have your national champion coach to go with your collective, to go with your social team. Let's not take away from Austin and the social team at JSU. And I've got a bunch of videos coming out. You can tell I'm hyped. I'm getting ready for football season. And media day was the other day. So it's a big day. But your social team that allows the fans to continuously be fed, during the off season. And then, of course, you have the product that is also being able to be displayed on a national level, because you can watch every game either on ESPN Plus, which that's a paywall, but HBCU Go is not, and SWAC TV is not. All of these things work in Jackson State's favor. All of these things work in the Tigers' favor. All of these things are the reason why kind of contribute all to the fact, the reason why they're the preseason favorites and the team to beat in the SWAC, not just the SWAC East, but in the SWAC in the 2025 season. This is another big year for Coach TC Taylor and the Tigers, because they have a team that could go undefeated. Not just, that's why I had the schedule pulled up. I was like, their toughest game against Southern Miss is A, early in the season, and B, I can tell you this. They feel like they could beat Southern Miss. I can tell you right now, the folks in Jackson feel like they're going to Southern Miss and winning that game. They feel like they're going. Now, obviously, Southern Miss is going to have a lot to say about that, but I can tell you confidently that the folks in Jackson that are associated with the team, on the team, a part of the team, whether it's coaching, players, whatever, or just fans of the team, they all believe that they are going to Southern Miss this season and winning that game. Yeah, that is be determined, but that's what they believe. And then the rest of the SWAC, they're just kind of putting everybody on notice. Be sure to tune into the games. Man, I mean, they dominated. I mean, the preseason awards tell you everything you need to know. They dominated the preseason awards, and they feel like they're going to be able to dominate this upcoming season. And just to justify the reason why they had so many preseason awards. Man, this is going to be a great year. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Jackson State dominates the preseason SWAC awards, including a number of players on both the first and second teams, and the overwhelming favorite to win not just the SWAC East, but to repeat as SWAC champions and represent the conference in Atlanta at the Celebration Bowl. My name is Jeff Lightsy Jr. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Once again, thank you guys for tuning in. Hit that thumbs up button, like, share, subscribe, and I will see you all next time. Peace.